Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. My name is Matt Burke, and today we're going to have on a special guest. It's Rich Ayala, and he's going to be talking about some of his awesome books like The Comics Way and Roachballs. So, if you guys could give a warm welcome to Rich. How's it going, Rich?
Yo, what's up, brother? How's it going? Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, thanks for coming, man. I'm doing great, man. Just got back from Target. You know, that's what a lot of people do on the weekends, I guess. You know, they got to go to Target. Just
Go
got
there,
back from there.
things end up with a couple more.
You get stuck in there, huh?
Yeah, it happens like
I noticed they got those they got some jelly rolls in there, bro. The little white the white jelly roll pins, you know?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, "What? You guys got jelly rolls?"
Yeah, you pick them up.
No, I still have some. I've been using them probably for about a year now, and it took me a year to figure out how to use them. Like I was just pressing down too hard on them, you know, and it just got to kind of go like, it's just like a weird sensation. You got to like rub it kind of slow, like roll it. You got to roll the jelly, you know?
Yep, I remember throwing away a couple good ones, thinking, "Oh, this thing's defective."
Same here, dude.
No, you just got to be gentle with them. It's kind of I use the Uniball, the Signo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
I like those
the big fuck ups, you know.
Yeah, the Pintel ones, dude. That's my new favorite toy right there. I've been playing with that a lot lately.
These are tricky. You gotta be careful with them. Sometimes you go to hit that little spot, and it's like, bleh, and then
it's like no, and you got like a bunch of Play-Doh on top of your drawing.
Yeah,
stacking up, man. That's cool, man. So what you been working on lately?
Started process a couple pages on Roachballs 2. So
oh shit.
Yep. That's the beginning pages. Like we're talking in the back room about all this shit. So like I got some thumbnails, you know, in the works, you know.
Oh, I love it. I love that, man.
Yep,
That's your process, huh?
Yep. Trying to so far. I think I'm doing more thumbnails on this for the second book than I did in the first. You know, we're getting more into gonna travel Cat Shit Island a little bit more and then have more characters. So then I was like, all right, it's probably time to like write some of this out. And like I was saying earlier, I'll utilize some you know, a lot of sticky notes for like ideas and stories and shit because I don't write the full script, you know. So I just kind of off the fly. And the first book was like that, you know, just a lot more, a couple ideas, maybe at some light, you know, a couple pages thumbnailed out, but that's about it. But this one's going to be a little more specific. So, like I said, we're going to go deeper into Cat Shit Island. For those one.
For those of you guys that don't know, Cat Shit Island, right here. It's Cat Shit Island. You got the book. Yeah, that right there. Awesome, man.
Yeah. So the first two pages, or it's really technically the second and the third, but the first two pages I'm working on kind of has the whole same thing how the first one starts, and we're getting a little further into Cat Shit Island, so it's going to start the same way when you're on the highway, but you're getting into Cat Shit Island, so there's more city that you'll see and shit like that, and you know, all these mounds, because Cat Shit Island itself is like one big, or used to be one big landfill, and then eventually like the last, you know, people of whatever planet that's, I've never really specified that, but they started all congregating there and living there and shit, so all these cities got built on these giant landfill mounds and filled with trash and cat shit, you know. So
that's awesome, man. I love the I like the lore in the world that you're building with this book, man. What are you know, I've you know talked to you a couple times on streams. You know, you've been on this stream before. Obviously I know who you are, but maybe there's some cats out there that don't know who you are. Maybe you could talk a little bit about yourself and who you are.
You know, I'm Rich Ayala, just another dude trying to make some comics, you know, part of an excellent collective the past couple of years called Comics Way. We'll get into that a little bit later. Domo, I'm rocking a shirt. Ollie sees it. But been wanting to create comics ever since I first saw one, you know, and it all started as a kid. You know, started out with shit like Ninja Turtles, which you first see the cartoon, and then you figure out like it's a comic. That's how a lot of people figured that shit out. And you're just like, yo, what the fuck? And if you got good taste, you like the comics a lot better because it was just grittier. Came across like heavy metal magazines and Robert Crumb, shit like that. And if you've read Roachballs, you can kind of see a little bit of all those little ingredients of all that, and a lot more too, all stemmed into the stew that is Roachballs. Got inspired by like late night cartoons and grimy shit like that. And discovered Bisley at a young age with the Lobo comics, so that blew my mind.
Yeah.
So at that young age, I was like, didn't fall into so much like X-Men and Spider-Man. I fell in love with all the really gritty, like underground or shit that wasn't meant for kids. So I got exposed to that at a young age, and it kind of dictated my whole flavor on art. And I was like, all right, this is what I like, and if I ever come across and make a comic, this is what's gonna be. So like, years later, just ended up making up Roachballs and shit. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like me and you, I remember from the previous stream, we grew up around the same time. I believe we're the same age, so we've experienced the world in quite similar ways. Different stuff. Like for me, I love Bisley. I love the Turtles. Side note: were you ever into like the Garbage Pail Kids cards at all?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Those cards. Yep, saw that at a young age too. I was born in Brooklyn, so like I don't remember too much because I left when I was really young. But my mom would hang out with her hood rat friends and shit. And I remember the first time seeing them being really young in some apartment, or it was probably a party or some shit. Party where you don't bring your kids to, but you still do, and you just shove them in the room. And on this heater pipe or some shit that was in the room, it was just a sticker slap with like Garbage Pail Kid cards and on this dresser. And I was just like, what the heck is all this stuff? And it just blew my mind and messed with the the visual intake and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was very cool.
It's like a load. Again, there's so many characters and so much going on and so much story in that one fucking card. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the whole style, the whole gross type stuff, and that transitioned way later to like shit like Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, all those crazy cartoons, the late
Spike
night
and Mike, Sick and Twisted tour. Do you remember that?
No, I don't think so.
So Spike and Mike were like these. I think they were like promoters or producers or something like that. Maybe even artists. They would do this thing called the Sick and Twisted tour. And Ren and Stimpy would be on there, and they would show these cartoons. And one time, I didn't go to the tour, but I went to. They did one with Korn. They did a Spike and Mike and Korn. So it was Korn, and I think it was Stained, and maybe some other band. I don't remember, but I seen them. It was at I think it was at Staples Center, but they showed cartoons in between the songs, and they had Ren and Stimpy in there.
Yeah,
man, that was crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's pretty fun. And Korn put on a good show.
Yeah,
it was like Pete Korn.
What did they have? The Oddity show, and then like Liquid Television, and I'm pretty sure it was a couple more.
The Max,
like that. Yeah, Max was awesome, and
I love the Max, dude.
Yeah, he's I read last year. I finally got around to reading all the books and shit, and unfortunately, like I didn't really dig the way the story went, which is crazy because that type of character. Yeah.
It's like deep, weird way. Like I didn't really want to go. I mean, kind of like for me, like I kind of wanted it to be a little more adventurous. You know what I mean? Like the world. Exactly. I love the world. I love the Pangea world. I want to see more of that. Go on adventures there. I want him to go on more adventures in the hood, in the alleys.
That's what I wanted to see too.
Serial killers and shit.
Got more like weird characters and stuff, and instead it just kind of read out like one big weird therapy session. And
exactly
reading it, I thought I had problems that I didn't have.
It's like, what the fuck? Do I gotta go to a shrink for reading this motherfucker?
Yeah, like what the fuck is up with this, man? So it's unfortunate, but yeah, Max was awesome. That's still an awesome character. So I hope they do something with him again, and they go down that road where they do a bunch of weird, crazy shit instead of sad, crazy shit.
Oh yeah, totally, man. I was wondering, man, what's your favorite movie, man? I gotta know.
I have several different favorite movies, and they're all kind of the same like genre and shit. But like, I love the old school Godzilla movies, especially the ones from like the 70s where all the monsters were like hokey and shit, like Hedorah and Megalon and shit. I gotta look at my movies right now all right, so I love like Bad Taste, like the old school Peter Jackson films. So Bad Taste, Feebles, and was the other one Dead Alive?
Love Dead Alive.
Yeah, Dead Alive's awesome. Street Trash, which was a fucking crazy awesome movie. You ever seen that?
Is that with Linda Blair?
No, they drink that weird shit. Where the fuck is
I haven't seen it, dude. I gotta see it. Then there's another one with Linda Blair where she's like it's kind of like the Warriors, you know, and like the street gangs and shit in the 80s, you know. There's so many gems out there, like in the 80s and 90s I haven't seen.
Like a bunch of hobos and shit.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Street Trash.
Yeah, and then this liquor store owner comes across this hyper drink or whatever. whiskey or some shit. And then it gets loose in the city, and it's like anybody who drinks it starts melting and shit, and it's just
That sounds
crazy.
familiar, dude. Because
Yeah,
I've heard of it. I just watched Zombie today.
There's a great. What'd you watch?
Zombie.
Which one is that?
The Lucio Fulci one.
Yep, all right, yeah. Then they made like 5 of them or some shit like that.
That shit was pretty good though. I was like, damn, because some of his movies, like they're pretty fucking. I mean, his movies are pretty cool. The ones I've seen.
Yeah.
But
and then cool, what else I got? Freaked. Freaked's an awesome movie. Hobo with the Shotgun.
I like that one.
Yep, the Sonny Chiba movies, the first 2 Street Fighters, those were pretty dope. And what else? Raid 1 and 2, which is like I'm kind of incorporating that. Yo, what's up, brother?
What up, fellas?
So like the Raid 1 and 2, I'm kind of incorporating that like kind of idea into Roachballs 2, where it's like this like crazy fuckery of meetup of like characters just getting all chaotic and shit in one very small area. So
that's what I did for Butch Cleaver 2.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, Dredd does it too. You know what I mean, where he starts at the base, like he starts on the street and then he climbs the tower. I mean, but I mean that's what I did, and it's fucking it's a cool thing. I mean, that's what Castlevania is. They do it in every fucking game, you know.
It's like Game of Death. You know,
I'll keep doing it. That shit's dope. That's cool, man.
And all those movies have influences on my work too, my art, and well, more specifically, Roachballs and shit. So, like style wise, swear wise and shit, you know, or not swear wise, but like dialogue. Yeah, like I said, dialogue wise. You know.
That's cool, man. No, I like that too. I like for the books that I like for Butch Cleaver, I would try to put in it like a bunch of different types of people, different races and creeds and tribes and whatnot. I think it adds so much more to the flavor of the book. It gets kind of boring. Like for me, I like to hear different dialects and slang, and I don't know. It's really fun. I love that shit.
That's what I remember. Like I said, I'm not a writer at all, so I don't script my shit, and you know I'm horrible with like punctuation, so I always have to have help on that. But like I remember while writing some of the dialogue for Roachballs 2, I'm like, you know, I had to like kind of cut some things short just because it looked good, or how people would kind of text them, and you know they would, you know, abbreviate certain words or misspell them and shit. So it was like that's how people really talk, or at least what I'm exposed to in real life. So I wouldn't want to make everybody talk like accordingly or super proper. It just doesn't make sense, especially in like such a big urban shitty fucking island city that, you know, I decided to put my story in. So, you know, it was fun messing around with that. And it was kind of a stress relief that I didn't have to be too you know, specific or on point with people's like words.
Oh yeah, I hear you, man. I loved Roachballs, man. I loved the large format too. But what inspired you to go with the big book, man? Like
basically so cool. Like heavy metal shit. So it's like the big magazine and, you know, Roachballs. So it was like at first I thought I was going to do it smaller, but I just feel like that didn't like fit. And if it ever made it to shelves on comic book stores, like I'm not even a front, like I wanted it to like be bigger than everybody else. Yeah. And that's the color scheme and shit too. And like that's why I picked it, so that way it would pop out. And kind of this book right here too, which is funny because me and the homies were talking about this the other day.
Oh, nice. But
I picked this book up as a kid, and I just love the way it was. And even though this is it's a bit smaller than Roachballs, I still like the bigger.
Oh yeah,
you know, but not by a lot.
I'm with you, 100%, brother. I'm gonna go this format for me myself.
This game is kind of the same and shit. So like,
go big or go home, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody seems to.
I love it, dude, and it smells great. Oh man, it's the art is just fantastic in here, man. I love your lettering. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the writer standpoint. I think you're a phenomenal writer. You created everything in here. You're phenomenal. What I loved about it too is it reminded me of like RoboCop a lot. And Lobo, where you didn't pull no punches on just the way you felt about the world in which you see it. Probably the last 5 years or so, and Sully he just doesn't give a fuck, dude. You know. He just handles it.
RoboCop shit, because the scene where the wheelchair hits one of the members of the Common Raiders, the fat Sailor Moon looking one, and they go into the vial or the vats with like chemical shit.
At the end.
I got that from RoboCop, you know. And then
totally.
Or that like weird mutant monster gets hit with a fucking van and then just splatters. That's like, I was watching RoboCop at the time, you know, or had watched it during the few weeks I was drawing this and shit, and then, you know, obviously saw it as a kid, and that was always one of my favorite parts. Because
my favorite movie, bro.
fucked up looking, like.
That's not the only thing I saw from RoboCop. There's like maybe one or two other things, but I don't want to spoil it, so they got to read it. But I mean, I love the book, man, and I love the world. I like the character that you put in at the end. He's watching over. I don't want to spoil that either, but that was cool too. When did you start doing tattoo art, man? That's very interesting to me.
Oh, tattoo art. This year, 2023 is it's my 20th year, so I've been for 20 years. Yep, going at it.
So you're like an elder statesman in the tattooing industry.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I would be, but this is my last year, so I decided to just hang it up afterwards and shit. So it's just not as it's very time consuming, but it's not very financially beneficial for how much time it consumes and how much time is wasted as well. So it's just like I gotta either go full throttle with what I'm doing now, or get another regular job with a steady paycheck and shit. So like I'm not even front on that. But like, yeah, so this is the 20th year will be my last year. Figure that's a good enough time, I think, to call it quits.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I had to do the similar thing in my life too. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a change. I hear you on that. That's what I did, and I made it. I made the change this year, just 3 months ago.
Change is good. Can definitely
change is good. I mean, you got to, bro. Like, you don't got to, but I mean. And I love doing fucking comics, and I love art, and hopefully I can focus more on that one day. That's what my dream is. But sometimes I don't know. It's just good to switch your day job up too, if you can. It's just good for the brain, I guess.
I've been blessed too. Like I've managed to make a living and keep my head above water with just art, in general and shit. So like, I definitely
your art's gorgeous, man. I've seen like there's no one out there like you right now. In indie comics, I don't just mean like our network or whatnot and our movement, but I could spot your stuff. I'm like, oh, that's okay, that's Rich right there. You know what I mean? Oh, I like what he did right there. And you're not predictable. That's what you're coming up with, different stuff that I wouldn't expect you to do, and different angles and perspectives, and like the stuff you did for that space book. It escapes me. And then also you did with the perspective for Veil Walker, that cover. Through the mouth. I was like, oh damn, this shit's fucking lit.
Movies, dude. Movies help with that type of shit. So you watch enough movies with crazy directors and stuff, and then you could see some pretty cool shots, You could do some cool things. Like I was just watching El Mariachi the other day. I've seen it before, but it popped up in the feed, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna check this out again.
Love that shit.
I love that movie. The movie was like, he had a different directing style at the time too. He was doing those weird shots where people would move all quick and then do weird shit. Like when he first came into the first bar and was like, oh, I'm looking for a job, you need a mariachi. He's like, why? I got this guy over here. He's like one whole band. And then it speeds up. There's some young ass kid with a sombrero on. He just gets up, puts up the fucking keyboard, and starts pressing buttons. And it's all that.
Always the young buck, right?
Yeah. And it was awesome. Like Robert Rodriguez don't do shit like that anymore. And then certain angles he would shoot it from. I'm like, this is dope. I like it.
He was the guy I always wanted to work with. Like if I ever got to work with somebody to do a project or IP of mine, he would be the first one. Him or Sam Raimi. But like he was kind of the one who was like right there, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got those cool shits too with those shots. Like a lot of you're making comics and you're like new to the thing or old and you're looking for some sort of inspiration for fucking shots and angles. Like check out some movies. Sam Raimi's a good one too. I was always doing those like quick snaps. I don't know what to call it. For, like
the ram cam.
The damn. He
even the ram cam coming at you.
His like tentacles were like flying all around and shit. It was like, this is dope. That's his style,
Even Guillermo del Toro was like citing him because he made the ram. From my understanding, he made the ram cam up in Evil Dead 1, where they put the camera on the end of the stick. They ram it through the window, and it comes at the chick like and it goes through the And then in the second one, they did a new one. Guillermo was talking about where they have Bruce Campbell Ash on this like tilt-a-whirl thing, and they're going full speed. They put him at the front of a car, and then they tilt him in a circle. So he's going, and then they're just he was doing a bunch of shit back then, man.
Cool, man. Inventive, because
very.
It's good to know the rules just so you can break them and just come up with some cool shit. So
yeah, you got to learn the rules, I guess, so you can break them and change them and put them
into your own damn thing.
I got to know, man, what's your favorite metal band?
My favorite metal band, I would have to say Sepultura and Soulfly. So it's kind of like the new Sepultura with was it Derek Green?
Yeah.
And Not so much. I think I probably like the Roots, like Bloody Roots with Cavalera, and
Yeah.
then but I do like his Soulfly shit. So and then other than that, like I'm not too much of a big like metalhead because I kind of like a little bit frivolous with my music. So I listen to like a lot of hip hop and a lot of like vibed out like DJs with beats and shit like that with just instrumental stuff, and then like a little bit of metal in between.
It's good
So
to have
like
a palate cleanser too. Like you have your go-to style, and
yeah,
then cleanse your palate. Today I was listening to Journey. What the fuck? I never listened to Journey's greatest hits, but I just put it on my kids, and they're like,
yeah,
"Damn, these motherfuckers got a bunch of hits." I'm like, "Damn, I didn't even know that was the band." You know?
yeah.
But yeah, that's cool, man. You ever listen to Gojira before?
I've heard like one or two songs, especially since I'm a Godzilla fan. This was like years ago since I heard the name, and I was like, "Oh, let's check them out," and
Yeah,
just never got back into like a routine of listening to them or anything. But definitely heard like a couple tracks for sure.
I think you'd like them. Like a couple, of, like maybe 3 or 4 of their albums. They're very tribal, like Soulfly,
No
very
shit.
fucking heavy. They're from
Yeah.
France.
No,
Yeah, they're
no.
heavy as fuck, and
Was it
they're
like
pretty catchy too.
the first
What's that?
earlier albums?
Yeah, my favorite one is probably From Mars to Sirius, or Cyrus, however you want to pronounce it. And then there's there's another one I think called the Link, and then there's another one called La Infant Savage, something like that. I think it's part of my French because I can't speak French. Like I have
But
to
yeah,
ask that from Tim. But yeah, they're fucking. They got all kind. I like hearing tribal instruments and metal, and like I just like metal, and that's that's my thing. But yeah, you probably would like them, dude.
As of late, for like I haven't been listening to too much metal, so it's always like moods. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I think
totally,
when I
dude.
was like going through a breakup, I was listening to more metal then and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
So
totally.
shit like that. But as of late, I've been listening to like Jim Mahfood, who's a crazy awesome comic book artist, but he's got like a podcast. It's like Skull Funk Radio. So a lot of that is like either like a lot of funk or like punk music, a lot of hip hop and shit. And it's just all random.
Good
So
stuff.
it's like I like the randomness of it. And I
Keeps you
don't have
going.
yeah,
Keep you on
yeah.
your toes a lot.
And I don't have to sit there and think about like, all right, who am I gonna listen to? Who's
Shit
gonna
gets annoying, huh?
who's gonna set the mood? And then like so I just like hitting random shit and just go to work.
Oh shit. Okay. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
pretty
So if
cool.
it's either my list, like my go to Spotify, hit my like songs and just hit random. And then or like I said, I listen to some Skull Funk Radio and then listen to whatever's going on in there because it's quite the eclectic mix. So I like that shit. I think it vibes well too with my mixed media style because I really like to do mixed media. So kind of, you know what I'm saying? It makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, because it's always mixing it up, and
Yeah.
you're doing all these different things with your artwork.
Yep.
Um, so when you're doing so we talked a little bit about your process. You leave it amorphous, you leave it open, you don't lock yourself down, you don't chain yourself down to one story. You keep it kind of you have it in your head, but you don't have like 100% of it locked down. Probably
Right.
because that keeps it interesting, right? So you don't have
Yeah,
it
and
keeps
I
it
don't have
fun,
to
right?
commit to a certain like I'll think of like the beginning and the end, So
Yeah,
if I don't want to give away. I mean, it's quite a simple story, but I still don't want to give away. But Roachballs, I kind of thought at the beginning and the end, it was like, all
hell
right,
yeah,
perfect. And
hell yeah.
then that's it. And then just started off with like the first scene and shit. And then kind of was like, well, what would this is like an intro story. So what would happen after this? You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
the a lot of story is in the streets. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
on the streets, there's not a lot of dialogue. If there's conflict between people, is usually like the beginning of it, then the build up, and then the end of it. And in any type of conflict in the streets is very rarely any fucking dialogue, or is it intelligible or anything like that. So it's like I wanted to keep that kind of like pace going, which is like a pretty quick pace.
I had to learn that the hard way. I wish I had thought of that, but you got to keep it fresh. I think that's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
You have to keep it open
Yeah.
to switch it up if you need to. I was also wondering, man, you're working on this outlaw street underground blue balls.
Yeah.
I got that one coming too. Is there anything you could really talk about that a little bit? Any teasers?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much. I don't have too much of a teaser because I don't know what I want to give away and shit. But if you like
Yeah.
Dust Till Dawn and kind of like
Damn.
Fear and Loathing type of feel, so it's like that. And I'm working on it with Matt Fowler, who wrote the script, and his character. It's a crossover comic, so his character Tiger Blue is speaking of which, Ollie's out there. He's a colorist of the comic of Blue Balls, and he's doing some crazy work. So like if I was to ever get anybody to color Roachballs, it would probably be him. It's always going to
Yeah.
be a Hebron project, but
Yeah.
myself and shit. But Ollie's
He's
got
the
it.
guy.
He's the guy. But
For
he's
sure,
a
for sure.
colorist for Blue Balls. So and Tiger Blue is Matt Fowler's character. He was a big like karate assassin type of tiger, you know, like
Yeah.
shit like that. And Sully's like this really diminutive, small, crusty character. So it's kind of a weird, odd pairing and shit. But it's very cool. So it's we're not doing it via Indiegogo. I think after um it's all said and done and people it's all fulfilled through
Yeah.
this what we're doing right now through the PayPal and shit. I think Fowler's really thinking about doing something with it to get it out to more hands and shit like that. So we might end up doing a crowdfunding thing for it after. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean it's I don't know what I got going on. I mean, I'll show off a page. I'll be right back.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, you got Roachballs, and that's going to be almost like a spinoff with Tiger Blue, and that was just this badass assassin tiger comic where he's fighting other like basically anthropomorphic assassins. So if you're into Ninja Turtles and a lot of other inspirations too, but the artwork is phenomenal by Jose Garcia, written by Matthew Fowler. The book is awesome, and Blue Balls is going to combine those two genres together into one badass book. So if you guys want it, you can hit up probably Matthew Fowler online. I'll have a link. They probably hit up Fowler if they want to pick up Blue Balls, huh?
Yep, that's the way to do it. That's how everybody else has been getting at it. So really kind of undergroundish,
Oh, yeah.
So if you got him on Instagram, I'm not
I'll
sure
put
if
a
he
link
has
in here after the show. That way you can hit him up. So
cool. So Instagram or Twitter that I know of, I know he has those accounts, and that's been working. So anybody who hits him up there, reserve your copy, and you got to reserve. So this was cool because when I worked on Roachballs, I drew the original pages two size, so they were all done on 9x12 boards.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So what you hold in your hands is the actual like the size of the real pages and shit, the original. And for Blue
Excellent.
Balls, it was cool. It was a little different because he obviously prints all this stuff on like your traditional format. So I had to do it on the 11x17 comic book boards, which is cool. And all I did was just the work and the ink work.
This is awesome, bro.
A couple pages where Sully's at the bar. He messes, some booty shots, but yeah. I don't know if you can really see it that well. Yeah, so it was fun drawing.
Yeah, you can see it.
I'll show you one cool scene with a tiger, I guess. Some of these
looking
fights
great, man.
Are crazy. Yep. So here's a shot of tiger. I'm about to do some dastardly hitman shit. And then he gets a phone call, and that's when he meets up with Sully. That's it for now, though. I don't want to.
That's awesome, bro. I can't wait for that one.
Fowler and shit talking two grown ass men talking about their characters and what they're like.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, and just kicking it with Ollie and just like going over colors. That's what up, Brian? Thank you, dude. So that's fun too. Just no, this color is right here, but I don't really have to tell Ollie much. Like he's always on point. So,
dude, yeah. I was wondering, bro. I know. So if people want, they can get Roachballs from you if they maybe hit you up on Twitter, right?
Yeah. Pretty soon I'm gonna work on like a big cartel or a Gumroad and shit. A lot of homies do like the Shopify, which is the most legit route you can do and take. But I'm technologically inept, so like
me too. I have to study that.
Simple. So
6 months to learn that shit for me.
Yeah, man. I tried it, and it was just like taking the whole fucking day just to do.
Oh yeah, dog. Like
banner thing, and I was just like, dude, this is taking up so much time. Like I could be drawing, but like, so I'm gonna go the simple route, and I think within next week I'm gonna try to open up a Gumroad or a big cartel, one of the two, and then you can get my comic there. But for now, you can hit me up on any of my social medias, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and hit me up. And I got multiple Cash Apps, and then just hit me up, and I send these out. So I'm doing been sending out like an all right amount in the past couple months, So
once people get it, they're gonna want it. I guarantee you, dude. There's nothing like that out there. I did a review on my channel here. You guys can check that out. I put the link to Rich in the top. And
Thank you.
You guys, man, you're missing out if you don't got it. You don't know what you're missing out on. I was wondering, man, could we show the previous Indiegogo campaign? Maybe the trailers, so people could get their eyes on it a little better.
Yep.
Sweet. Hold on one moment.
Yeah, the whole thing was to just have fun. You know, that's when I approached this, like I told myself I was gonna have fun. I'm gonna make something that I want. If I walked into a comic book shop or bookstore or whatever, and I saw that'd be the first thing I would pick up personally. So that's how I approached this whole thing. So if you read it, you pick it up and you're having fun with it and you love it, that's awesome because, you know, so did I making this whole thing.
Oh, I did. I know too. If I would have seen it at my store, I would have bought it instantaneously. Like, oh damn, this is fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
You got this trailer right here, man. I ain't gonna fuck around. I've seen this trailer. I love it. Probably my favorite trailer I've seen, dude. I think we're gonna have to show it, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island, a toxic, radioactive nightmare. To survive the freaks, beasts, and gangs, balls.
Dream it, love it, touch it, clutch it, shoot it, smoke it, snort it, fuck it. I be on another level. Call of Duty, took that metal. They so fruity, call it pebble. Make it bubble like a kettle. I'm so dope, I be illegal. People bring it back, they call it sequel. Treat it right, I be so equal. I'm so fly, I be like eagle. Just so that they say I'm regal, so me that they say I'm evil. Walk around like I don't see them. Let's go.
Rich Ayala's Roachballs. Back today on Indiegogo.
Hell yeah, man.
Sully Cucaracha is one roach you can't stamp out.
That's awesome, man.
I'm not even a front. That I think that trailer was the strength of like that whole campaign and getting a lot of backers on it. You know, besides like I was doing months of like, you know, promoting it and just being obnoxious and having people yell at roach balls and paying some of these people to super chat. I was, you know, paying in super chats for them to just randomly yell out roach balls and shit. So
me too. You got to, bro.
Yeah. But this trailer really brought the strength, man. So shout out to Dying Days of YouTube who made it. And,
Dying Days.
You know, and the homie Arrogant Ape who did the narration, and everything was just perfect. So perfect.
I love how you use multimedia, man. I love too, like all the shit he has to go to in the intro with Garbage Island, you know, like where he's jumping all over the stuff and he's having to fight off these big fucking, I don't know if they're condors or vultures.
Yeah, they're like weird harpies. I just made them weird. It's obviously both like a mix of vultures and shit, but I did a painting a while back and I painted this like ugly harpy and I really enjoyed it and I still like love it. It's one of my favorite paintings. It's a small thing, but I really like the way the character came out. So it's like those harpies are kind of based off of that painting I did, but with a little bit more smaller in like form and shape. So,
and it was weird. Like some comics can immerse you into their world, but this one really did, man. Like it really I felt like I was there afterwards.
Nice.
Like I got right in there, man, and like that's what I really loved about the book. You feel like you're going to be keeping the multimedia style of art intact for the next book, or
yeah, I feel like that's definitely like the whole style of roach balls and shit. So the next book won't be heavily colored like this because due to time constraints and like this like coloring took forever, and I want to be a little quicker with the process. Not so quick where I'm just, you know, tarnishing the whole style and shit, but quick enough where I can get one out a year, you know. So like
yeah, dude.
The coloring is extensive, so I'm gonna switch it more to the black and gray, but I'm gonna still have color in it. So it's like there's a couple scenes that I have in my head where like when collectively like all the characters are like together, then I'm gonna do those pages color just so everybody has an idea of the color scheme and shit. And then a lot of it will be like black and gray, but I have color hints in it and shit. So it's like the strength of it is mixed media. And I had a couple homies, like the way homies really remind me of that because I was kind of having this like back and forth with myself and shit. Like, oh man, you know, stay on brand. The colors what really brought it. And then one of the homies was like, no, the dope art is what it is. You know, the roach balls and your style is what's the brand, what you're bringing across. And it was like, yeah. And then kind of broke that down and was like, well, mixed media is the backbone of this shit. So, you know, I'm still keep it that way, just switch it up a little bit style wise or color presentation wise, but it's still going to be dope as fuck. So
Fuck yeah, man. And this was that Lobo homage right here, huh?
Yeah, yep.
Love it.
That was pretty humbling, man. All these pieces went like within probably the first like hour that I launched, they were all gone.
Love it, man. This was like a really fun campaign, man. Like I was glad to be part of it.
Yeah,
I can't wait till the next one comes. Are you gonna do a? Are you gonna do a? Well, actually, how are you gonna plan on launching the next one?
I can't even front. I don't even know that yet. So like,
hard,
Indiegogo,
huh?
a little weird. Yeah, they're being weird right now.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for my next book. To be honest, like I'm just.
And I remember even towards the end of my campaign and shit, before I shut it down completely, like everybody they were doing that whole weird thing is when they started. And so I took down a couple like pictures that I had with like titties hanging out and shit like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, dude.
The whole what up, Dean? The whole I had this really one comic strip that not a lot of people like was with Sully and somebody's dog, and a lot of people did not like that. So I was like, that's probably going to be the first one they start complaining about. So like I took that one down, and then, but thankfully, fortunately, I didn't have like Indiegogo didn't bring me any issues, not even with the glow in the dark crack rocks or anything like that. So
got lucky. I didn't get fucked up yet either. My shit's got gore and blood and green shit all over the place. I didn't get fucked up yet. They didn't fuck my shit up. I'm still. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do though. Like for my next book, you know what I mean? And I'm not even like really concerned right now because shit just keeps changing, dude. Like you don't know like every week. So like why even invest any like trip on that? You know what I mean? Like until the precipice, you know what I mean? Until the threshold hits.
So. And they're just unreliable, and it's funny. You learn some shit too, like after doing that first campaign, how much money they take out, and they take out a lot just for doing dick. They don't do shit. They really don't.
Dude.
So it's just like, damn, you motherfuckers, and it makes me want to choke a bitch. But so after that, you got to learn. It's like the homie Brian, not to parrot this because a lot of people have been saying it.
Corey.
Or if they haven't been saying it, they've been putting their heads in the sand and shit. But like, you got to rely on yourself, and so make
definitely
a platform or whatever that's in your control. So like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for this next book, but I know chances are it's probably not gonna be on Indiegogo.
Shopify's the way, dog. Like I know it is. Like it works for Brian, it works for the homie Sim Potier. Like they're both doing Shopify, dog. Like I want to do it, but you have to be able to move like a pretty decent amount of books. I'm sure you could do that. What up, Chauncey Blakely? I think that's the way though, dude.
In a couple days too. So like even if you don't have a platform like Shopify or anything, before you get to that point, utilize your Instagrams, utilize your Twitter. Some people say Facebook works, some people don't. For me personally, Instagram and Twitter. So like
that's what's up.
Those have been awesome. You keep up on your stories, your reels and shit like that. And
it's weird, huh? The reels?
Yeah.
It's like you have to do like it seems like the reels like get you more exposure than just posting, right?
Yep.
And like sometimes you might have a piece where like do I reel it first or do I post it or reel it or I just do one or the other? It's like
Instagram weird. You can do both. So you put up one video on a reel, it'll post it as well too. So it hits both. Then you can see the difference. Like most people, you'll get more viewers on a reel, so like sometimes you get some interaction out of it, but regardless, it works for followers and all that shit. So it's consistency, that's it. That's what it really is. Just be consistent. You have good content and you're consistent.
Same time every like week or something like that. Just hit something like some art that you're doing. Maybe.
Yeah. I haven't figured that out. I've been told that like, oh, you got to hit on certain days. You got to hit a certain amount of hashtags and shit. Like, well, just at that point, just hit up something every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like it doesn't. I don't always post every day, but I manage to keep it. Even if I'm working on a commission and I'm working on like a little bit of sketch, bam, I hit it up in the story. If it's dope enough and it looks complete or done, I'll hit up in the reel and shit. I started kind of doing the live videos, which help. There was a couple times I did them, and then I just took them down. And actually, Chauncey in the chat was like, "It's probably better if you like keep them up."
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably right. And since doing that, like kept one video up, and interactions have been pretty fucking cool. So like I'm gonna do more of that as time goes on and shit. I have the YouTube channel. I haven't been paying too much attention to that in months, but I know they're doing shorts now.
Shit. Yeah, they are. They're doing shorts.
Yep.
TikTok. I don't know I know a lot of kids are doing that. The
Yeah,
kids.
so it was like I don't think I'm gonna be doing the TikTok thing anytime soon, but now that Instagram's doing the shorts and the reels and the YouTube, so might as well just do that. It's the same shit, pretty much, for me anyways. So I'm gonna start going back to the YouTube channel, paying more attention to that. And I did have a Patreon open during like when I first started my campaign, and then became a little inconsistent with it, so I shut it down. But once I start getting into more pages of Roachballs 2, then I'm gonna put that back up. And on my Patreon, you can read all of Roachballs 1. You can read all the line work too. I just have all the black and white line work there. And I have like original concept sketches of Sully that I did like fucking
That's
years
funny you
ago.
said that. I was thinking of that right now. Like, where did Sully come from? I'd like to know, like, where you came from that came up with that.
All right.
Or,
Like,
sorry, the concept of that character.
Yeah, it's growing up in Section 8 housing, with like welfare and food stamps and shit. Roaches have always constantly been around, so it's just like you don't like them, obviously. So like nobody likes roaches. I don't like roaches and shit, but I figured it'd be a good character because it was something I was accustomed to at a young age, And the first concept of Sully that I had was that I was like, I hate roaches. They're a good fucking symbol. Just to gross people out. Like, you think roaches is a good symbol. It's a symbol for everything gross that you don't like, everything dirty and shit.
Right.
And so I started like making a character around that. And the first concept of him was like, he was like this big kind of bulky character that had guns and all this shit. Very trench coat was very like
very Lobo.
Very Lobo, Hellboy-ish and shit.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dude. That's pretty dope too.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, it's a different thing altogether.
It's different. A lot of people have that type of character, and not to be a dick or anything, but like even like the CG circuit, you can see that a lot of people have these big hulking characters and shit. And it's just like, I'm so glad I didn't go that route. But then I was watching years ago, I was watching that movie it's with Danny DeVito and Dave Chappelle and
con artists. They're like con artists or something like that. It's like something weird. Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah,
with the comedian, he just passed too. I feel like such a dick for not remembering his name.
I can't remember either.
But yeah, anyways, Danny DeVito would
he's perfect for Roachballs. Now that you're putting it, I'm like, dude, take Danny DeVito out of my head. He's fucking Roachballs.
Yeah. I've always said it.
Pesci.
I would love him to voice. If you
Pesci would throw down too, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
the voiceover. Screwed. Thank you, Krager. But yeah, everybody's got roaches. See, they're so invasive, and they're just
I had them too, man. I kind of grew up similar as you too.
Yeah, so like you know what it is. But I was watching that movie and loved how creepy and just off-putting Danny DeVito was, and then had a thought and was like, well, what would be creepier is if you see his big-ass roach, which would be scary, this big hulking roach going through your fridge.
Yeah.
But it'd be even scary to see a big roach, but not that big. You know what I'm saying? So like kind of like small person height.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying, dude.
Even more creepy.
Like a doll, dude,
Yeah, exactly.
Like a dwarf. I don't want to use the wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend any tribes, but yeah.
Like a goblin-ish size and shit. And then the patterns just fell into my head, and it was like, so I started sketching him out and really loved like the first few sketches I did of him, like really small and whatnot. And then it just made sense. So I was like, it'd just be easier for him to creep. And like, I don't want him smashing through walls. I want him to just be there, almost like cartoon status where you just, what the fuck? And there's just a
hey
right there. Yeah. He could easily get away and shit. He was kind of hard to like grab a hold of, or hard to like, you can beat him up because he's not that super like strong and shit. Always keep coming back because he's a roach. But like, he's very more, instead of like super strong, he's more like stabby type shit,
Yeah, stabby.
Yeah, I like that whole approach to it. So
yeah, I agree 100%. Like, the way you made him is perfect. Yeah, you made the right decision. And I mean, aside from like him, he sticks out. Like that's cool. But just like the instinct that you had in creating him and making him that way, other than making him like a Lobo or Hellboy or the big buff dudes, they're cool too. But what you have there is something special, and your artist instinct was perfect for that. He took over too. Probably to a point where where he was kind of drawing and you were just kind of like going, oh, like the character was taking over, right? Type shit.
Everything fell into place, and like it figured out, it was like kind of like the whole, I think, like Scott McCloud type of like breaking shit down, like the whole silhouettes. Silhouettes are key.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of these big bulky characters, you bang a silhouette on them, you ain't gonna be able to tell the difference between.
No, they're just one big fuck pile of shit.
Right.
Not to be a dick, but I mean, Jackson was talking about that with the first Hobbit movies. A lot of people hate them. I love them, but the dwarves, they all got silhouettes. Yeah. So you got to have that silhouette, and he's fucking Sully's got a silhouette and a half, dude. Like I always imagine him like just with each arm, he's got like a crazy dagger or like a snub nose or maybe a little flamethrower, like an old school flamethrower with a tiny one, maybe a Molotov and another one. And
you definitely gotta look blue balls because there's a scene in there that Fowler wrote with Sully and some flammable goods, and it's a crazy cool scene and shit. So you're definitely gonna enjoy blue balls now because you said that.
I can't wait for that, man.
Even in Roachballs, I flexed and I had a panel where he's just all silhouette, and his arms aren't even up; his arms are down because I kind of wanted to flex on that. Like if I made him a silhouette, even without his arms being up, could you still tell Sully?
Can I still flex on that shit?
I did, and I was like, okay, I like this. So it's like the whole Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy
the gloves
approach to it, where it's like not even gloves, but if you saw them as silhouettes, you know what I'm saying?
They're there 100%.
Check them out. And what was the thing that made them like that? It was their body shapes and shit. So you take away Sully's arm, it's like almost like a warped peanut, just a big ass head and a little oval, like a bean type body. So it's just like once I got that down, everything fell into place, make his features a little more squishier, kind of like ugly, but kind of adorable too. And I've had that.
Dudes, like it's hard to hate on that motherfucker, like because he's kind of cute, dog. Like I gotta lie, like
I've had girls
if
say
you had a
that.
plushie or something, I'd probably buy one. I mean, I would buy one. Like, would you ever make a toy of that? Like, I mean, we're gonna have to go there right now. I gotta ask, would you ever make a toy of that?
I would definitely be open to it and shit, So I've definitely read and seen a bunch of things with other comic book artists and what happens with the toy shit. So you be very careful with that type of stuff. But like, talking. We need to talk with some of the homies and shit like that. So like that's definitely something that's going to be down the road. I would love to see crazy plushie and shit. I don't know about t-shirts right now. Maybe if I ever did cons and shit like that at some point, then I would probably do that. But like I don't know if I'll be putting any Sully or Roachballs type stuff on shirts anytime soon. There's no plans for that.
I'd love to see like a black and white, like, oh, that'd be dope, dude. Even there's so many there's so many like this cool like artwork with him in black and white, and I don't know, that would be dope. I would totally rock a Roachballs t-shirt.
That's why I definitely want to flex on like the black and white work too in the second book because I love the colors and shit, but I also want to show off the artwork because that's what a big the backbone of this book is. I feel like is like a lot of crazy artwork, so I kind of want to flex on my inking skills. Gray work. So
you do ink, dude? I didn't know you did ink.
Lots of ink work. Definitely put in tons and tons of ink mileage on a lot of my work. So yeah,
that's dope, dude. I mean, like, oh man, yeah. Like now you got me wanting to just look at the inks now because, like, I mean, I love the inks. Brian Kreisgau loves the inks, dude. Like, he's an ink man, and I don't know, man. That's cool. And you're also working on another project, the GÜEYZINE. I was wondering if we can maybe show a little bit of that right now too.
Yeah, cool. I would love to.
Yeah.
So like,
let me share my screen.
Some homies that I met through this whole indie comic network, and some of the best crew I could ever work with. And so it's just a cool collective. And we got some. I don't even want to call it anthology because it's like nothing even like that. Like I barely like anthologies as is, but it's definitely a cool collection of different stories from a couple different writers and artists too as well.
Only $18 for 48 pages, guys. You got to jump on this. I'll have the link in this in the chat right now. Also have it in the description after the show. So this is like yours.
Average zine off the bat. It's not even like an average zine because zines are usually typically very thin,
small too. Huh?
At first, we first discussed it like a Shonen Jump type of idea where we already were going to preview some of our existing books and kind of just like cut them up and put them in one big lookbook collective, and then it ended up through multiple talks and discussions and evolving into this. So it's kind of like this weird amalgamation of a Shonen Jump and a zine, and it's got that whole crazy street savvy type of artwork approach to it, you know. And it's got yep, this is my story, Puto versus Puto.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's
Sounds
kind of
awesome.
like,
I remember you were telling me.
also what inspired that, this book again, the Mario book. So like this whole style and approach.
Hell
It's
yeah.
black and gray, the old school Mario comics, which were black and gray, Spy versus Spy, kind of like the Fleischer type of cartoon type of approach too. So it's about two like scumbag brothers. I always have to draw like characters always have to be scumbagish like type of people. You know?
Right. Like
I've rarely
everybody.
the heroes in real life, so it's just always like
people.
veteran characters. But
Love the belly button on this fool.
oh yeah, it's his hernia, you know.
Oh, it's her. Yeah.
He's got hernia. The other one's got stitches from I don't know if he sold an organ or had it stolen or some shit. But they're constantly fighting over the same baby mama, so it's good for some drama.
I can't wait for this, man. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other books too, man. You got the book by Juanito.
Yep, by Juanito. It's like a kind of a folklore from where he's from in Bolivia. This is Not the Mute by Schivo, who's working on the Exiled book with Adam Lawson and motherfucking Wesley Snipes. So
Yep.
I think it's
Can't wait
cool.
for that too. That looks dope as fuck.
This free time to be able to come up with a cool story. Antagonist Club. I'm wearing the gear right now by Domo RC.
Hell, yeah.
Bam. So that whole story is based on characters that are based off of his clothing line. So definitely hit him up if you want some fresh gear. It's cool ass artwork.
That's all these books right there.
Yep,
Disturbing, huh?
He's the brother of Domo and shit, and colorist of Blue Balls and many other great projects. This is his solo project, Go Zombie Soldier Sturban. The pages I've seen on this joint are just fucking crazy. I know this is gonna be my favorite story. I'm gonna love all the stories in this because just not only because they're homies, but they are everybody's talented writers and fucking artists and creators in general. So, but I'm looking forward to this joint. This is right up my alley, like the whole style, Common Rider, Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah,
Devilman
yeah,
type
I love that shit too, man.
Yep. Battle Kiwi by Owasi and the fuck. I forgot the artist's name. Samada, Ali Samada. Yeah. Damn, such a dick. But like yeah, this is based off once more like backroom stories and shit like that, jokes, and it's also based off of a character that's in Doors versus Junkman, which is an upcoming campaign between Aerith, Brian, and Ali and shit. It's gonna
Can't
be
wait
dope.
for that.
Yeah,
I got one my characters in there with one of the characters from.
Oh yeah, you got the double body. Right?
Yeah.
Man, they got like,
and another
the Junkman coming out are insane.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
He's so sick. So this is Purgatory by fucking B Rose.
This one looks dope, dude.
Dario Rodriguez from fucking 656. So nasty. This is pretty cool. This is B Rose.
Van Helsing, huh?
On Van Helsing, yeah.
I can't wait. That shit looks dope too.
Yep.
That looks so good.
Juanito, who did Suyu, the other story that you saw earlier in this joint, and who drew Doors versus Line with Brian. This is Brian wrote the story, and Juanito's drawing it. So Satan loses his stones, and he just sends like a couple bad biddies to go and retrieve them. So they look fine, they look cute and shit, but the comic is like this story is crazy. It's like violent.
You don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, you don't.
You get more of what you bargain for.
Yeah.
And then you're getting the Arrogant Apocalypse story, huh? A Dwarfs versus Junkman story.
Yep.
By Brian and Oliver, huh? And Dario.
Yep. I guess what do you call this? Let's see, prologue, I guess, type of story and shit.
Nice.
So I told you the story before. Arrogant Ape's character gets involved with the whole Doors versus Junkman story, so it's like the precursor to it. You find out
I'm mad hype on this, dude. This shit's fucking Del Fuego flight, bro.
Oh yeah, we were doing. Craig brings up a good point. I'm gonna go get something.
Yeah, if you guys can, I have the link in the chat right now. I'll have the link in the show after we get done with it. I'll put it in there, but I believe it's Comics Way. GÜEYZINE.com.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you guys can get there. It's on Aerith.com, but I already backed it. It's $18, guys. You get fucking
Yeah, a lot of pages.
a lot of pages, dude, and it's gonna be some awesome stories in there. It's fun.
You know, it's one problem I've noticed with that a lot of people have when anthologies is you'll get into a certain groove with them, and then there's always that one story that just throws it all off the tracks, and the story's like weak, the art's weak, and it just seems like it doesn't have any room in there. But that's not a problem you're gonna have with the GÜEYZINE. That's for sure. You know, so everything is dope. Like we've seen it together in the back rooms, just seen it all like and it looks great. Like everything just complements one of each other, and it's just dope.
A lot of love in there, dude.
So this tier already closed, but we were having a sketch card kind of tier. So it's like these are on 3x5s. It's the Juanito special. He decided the size of this, so they're a little bit bigger. We all did some, and this is a few I did. So it's Adilio from Antagonist Club. Fuck this party. He's bashing through a window, John Woo style, with some squirt guns. And we got Von Trejo, or Von Helsing, from B. Rose's story, slicing through a werewolf. Got the Rosary, of course. What else? We got Battle Kiwi, looking strapped and cute, cuddly. I like the sword with the bone handle. It looks dope. We got Esquivo's character, not the mute. Bam Bam. It's, I don't know, head chopping somebody. And then we got Ollie's character, Go Zombie Writer Sturbin. Bam. I got two more that I'm working on. Now these are just sketches right now, but I don't know if we can see that very well, but I got a Yellow Beetle sketch card going on, and then which one is this? I'm drawing Aerith, Brian's character Aerith, for the final sketch card. Man, and that's it.
Those look fantastic, man.
Thank you, brother.
And you cut those up. You got a slicer in house or what?
Yeah, because I'm we can't just, I don't think they have just random 3x5 sketch cards, available and shit. So I'm doing it on some mixed media board. So the paper's thick and, holds well with all these gray tones and inks and shit.
So it's badass, dude.
So I fucking size them up myself, and then I cut
People
them.
are going to be pissed they didn't get the 3x5 sketch card at as cheap as I got with the whole bundle of.
Yeah. We had a cool bundle thing going on where, you could get all of us to sketch out some cards for you. You missed out if you didn't get one from Esquivo, if you like his artwork and shit. Because
I do.
He's gonna be
that book looks dope.
Yeah, he's gonna be super busy. He's already super busy, so it's like rare to even get him to strap down and like do some cool shit like sketch cards and whatever. So then Ollie, excellent artist. A lot of cool people doing cool things on that. So
a lot of good IPs on there, dude. Like they're all solid. They're all fucking bangers. You know what I mean?
Yep. Juanito was doing some cool shit. He drew some funny shit. My favorite so far, it's not to be biased, but it was his Puto versus Puto, his versions of it. He put some details on them. They look creepy. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a fucking Swiss Army knife artist, dude. He's a fucking chameleon. He can do a lot of different styles. A lot of different styles.
Cool. So that whole collective right there, the whole magazine is it's bound to be dope, So not a dull story. So I think people are gonna have a hard time picking out which story is their favorite. So
hell yeah, dude. I gotta ask you, man, what's your favorite beer? If you drink, or you have a favorite drink?
When I do drink, I don't really drink too much. The last I drank was on Christmas when I was visiting my sister. But if I do drink beer, it'd have to be the it's kind of, I don't know if it's bougie, but Stella or Modelo. So
okay.
Modelo.
I like the Modelos. They're easy to drink. I like the Modelo Negras. Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
Stella's pretty smooth.
Those things. I had a lot of coquito. I drank that a lot during it's like rum and some coconut mix and all that shit.
Ooh.
So a decent amount of that during Christmas vacation, homemade. That was good.
That sounds pretty bomb.
Yep. And other than that, I'm not much of a drinker. I've been calming down the past couple of years. Used to party up with the homies, drinking PBR and all that nasty ass shit.
Yeah.
Man, it got to be too much. But more calmer now these days and shit. I don't do much partying. Do a lot of sitting down and
Modelo time.
yeah.
He knows what's up.
Soon I'm gonna have to hit up Mexico and have some Modelos with the 656 homies and shit. But
yeah, I just hit up the beers like on the podcast days, usually like Saturdays or Tuesdays. Yeah. I'll drink like once a week. Just it's fun.
Yeah.
But shoot, man. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, I miss those days going out with the homies every weekend and drinking and shit. But you know what it is, man. The more you get involved with this shit, like you gotta sit home, you gotta strap it down and get some fucking
totally,
work.
dude. Yeah, you're missing out on fucking pages and money and commissions and totally 100%, bro. I feel you on that. I agree. But yeah, man. I guess probably that's probably all we could say right now. Is there anything else you'd like to say about any of the awesome books you're working on?
I mean, besides, go check it out. If you haven't checked out the GÜEYZINE, go on over there. I don't know how long it's going to be up. We're getting very close to being done. So, and sending it out to print, like very close. So make sure you get that. And I think after that, we might try a couple more platforms, but then after that, it's done. So we really wanted to make this like a collector's thing. So the next time around, it'll be like GÜEYZINE 2 and 3 and shit, but it's going to be super hard to get one. So like get on that now. If you haven't yet, go over there, hit the link, check it out. If you want some blue balls, the crossover between Matt Fowler and myself with Ali on Colors, then you hit up Matt Fowler. Hit him up on the Twitter, the Instagram, Retro Graphics Books. Pre-order with him. And if you're looking to copy yourself some Roachballs, 9x12, oversized, 68 pages, full color, my create-own comic. I did the pencils, inks, colors, letters, all that shit. Hit me up. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and do that shit. Pretty soon I'll be getting more on my YouTube. I'll be doing a little bit more of that soon. And I'll be opening up my Patreon soon, and also a website of some sort. So that's all, really.
Hell yeah, man. So you guys hear that? Fuck yeah, man. Anytime, dude. You guys hear that? You guys, you want Roachballs? Hit up Rich on Twitter. I have the link there. Hit up Matthew Fowler on Twitter for Blue Balls. It's going to be an awesome crossover comic. I'm going to have the GÜEYZINE link in there too. You guys back that too. It's going to be a badass book. You guys aren't going to want to fucking miss out on these. I mean, like, I'm not fucking around. Check them out. You guys are going to love them. You love comics, you're going to fucking love them. Thanks for coming by, Rich. I want to do it again as soon as we can.
Thanks for inviting me, dude. I love this shit. I love talking nerd shit.
Me too, man. And there was only an hour, so I know there's a bunch of other stuff we could talk about too, man. I love having you on. I love picking your brain, brother.
Love being here, dude.
Hell yeah. And thanks everybody for watching. Always remember, be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. You folks have a good day. Bye.